Hello everyone, welcome to the webinar on how to fix your IT asset house with ALVAO IT Asset Management. The webinar is meant for those who want to keep things in order and be more efficient. I am Daniel, your consultant, and I will show you how to do that in our environment. Here is how it's going to go. We will try to fit into 30 minutes. Hopefully we don't get stuck anywhere. And send us questions into the chat and we will try to answer them. The webinar will also be recorded and it will be shared with you afterwards. So who are we? We are Microsoft 365 centric IT service management and IT asset management vendor. We've been helping companies get their IT in order for over 25 years now, and we have over thousands of implementations under our belt. Here is just some of the main integrations from the M365 ecosystem. The main ones for today's IT asset management webinar are Entra ID, Power BI, and Intune. But overall favorites are definitely Microsoft Teams, Power Automate, and can't forget about Microsoft Copilot. As you can see, here is a proud moment for our team. Our solution is Copilot ready, and we have been highlighted during the last Microsoft Ignite conference by CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella himself. Within our system, we have a service desk, which is used for service management and IT asset management. Both solutions are heavily integrated together in one ITSM solution. And here we can safely talk about a full-fledged enterprise service management system. They can also be used separately, but they still work on a single and unified platform. Now let's get down to it, and we will start from the simplest scenarios and move to more advanced ones. Primarily, we will show IT use, but we will also show non-IT stuff, as ALVAO is used in various departments. In our experience, Excel is still main tool for asset management. Sometimes we encounter tools like SAP or custom solutions, but in the end, they are just slightly better versions of Excel. And the main issue with these solutions is manual maintenance, leading to disorganization, high time costs, and minimal benefits. We have also found that the biggest reason not to get an IT asset management tool is fear that it will be difficult to implement and that it will not meet the expected functionality. However, deploying ALVAO is very quick, and you can be up and running and operational with the environment in a matter of hours. So let's go now to ALVAO and see how it works. ALVAO IT asset management is in web portal. This is the same for asset management and service desk, and users can simply access the application using the single sign-on method with their Entra ID account. And then the access is managed according to the permissions. Now, here we are now looking at the main part of the IT asset management. The main section here is the hierarchical tree structure, which we call asset tree. Now, this is typically divided into cities or buildings, depending on the customer. And it's usually combined with organizational structure, like in this case, departments. Now, within the departments, we then have individual locations like rooms, sales, meeting room, maybe like server rooms, what have you. And within the room, there is typically in the location, there is typically some equipment like shared printer, maybe projector, and of course some users. Now the users also have some assets that has been given them to use. Now we can see that it's not only IT asset, it can be car, the typical non-IT stuff. Now the moment I select an object in the tree, a detail appears, and I can see all the properties. Now properties can be automatically retrieved, in this case from Entra ID, and for that, when I update the properties in Entra ID, it automatically updates in ALVAO. So I can't actually edit them here, they are locked. Now, of course, there are some freely editable properties that I can edit. There are inherited properties that they are inherited throughout the tree structure. So I don't need to have like useless properties, on these objects, manually edit them. They are just inherited with the structure. Other properties are, for example, mandatory properties. Like in this case on the mobile phone, we see that warranty expiration is not filled in, it's mandatory. So we see warning on the device. Now, we can easily filter between these properties. If I don't want to see the inherited ones, I can only select own or maybe just technical. Each object has its own unique set of properties that are relevant for it. So, in this case, mobile phone or laptop will have a lot of technical ones, but if I select keys, there are only 3 relevant properties and the rest of them are inherited. Now, ALVAO serves as a single point of contact. The goal is to showcase data from various data sources in one platform. I've already mentioned that users are imported from Entra ID. In terms of IT assets such as computers or mobile phones, they can be imported from your Intune. In case of Intune, there is actually an action that will take you straight to the device in Intune. You can use ALVAO agent to create computers that don't exist and automatically pull hardware and software information about them. ALVAO also imports devices from third-party monitoring tools such as Zabbix, Landsweeper, Jump, and more, SNMP protocol. And the benefit is that if you are using one of these tools like Entra or Zabbix, Landsweeper, whenever the device is automatically updated in these devices, ALVAO will pull the information automatically for you. You don't need to edit that in 2 places. Now we can, of course, import your assets that are still in your Excel spreadsheets. We can use barcode scanner, mobile application, and there are some other options. Now to simplify the process of implementation, there is a huge automation in place. Now the system will automatically help you create the tree structure for you partially. For example, we take the department, the city from the user, and it will automatically create the department in the organization for you and sort the user under it. And same goes for devices. Devices will be automatically sorted to the users. So to quickly summarize, we have a comprehensive overview of the assets, and thanks to the tree structure, I know exactly where everything is. The position in the tree also automatically gives us other information, such as, if the asset is active, maybe it's inactive or active. In ERP or Excel, it has to be done manually overwritten. And same goes for who is the owner, who is the responsible person. In these tools, you need to do it manually. Here, it's clearly given by the tree structure. And same goes with the inheritance. You don't need to have same properties on every object. They are automatically inherited with the tree structure. Now let's go a little bit further. So when a new employee comes in, and I'm the technician, based on employee onboarding ticket, the system automatically assigns me a sub-ticket to give the user some assets. And with that, I typically need to create a handover protocol. So I have a confirmation from the user. IT typically has some confirmation template in Word, and they have to fill it in by hand. Now it costs too much time and there is a risk of making a mistake. So when we stock new equipment, we typically receive it in hardware store. Now we may have it divided into different categories. In ready to use, I have prepared a mobile phone for John Doan, our new employee. Now John has been automatically imported to ALVAO from Entra ID. So he's here, and I want to show you how it's done manually, the assignment of the device. So I will just take the mobile phone and move it to John. Now, the system tries to keep your data quality high. So it will not allow me because there is mandatory property that is not filled in. So once I go to the mobile phone and fill the serial number, the warning disappears and I can simply drag and drop the phone to the user. Now, whenever I actually, move the device, update any property, everything is logged within the system. We keep the whole audit trail of the device, who, when, what changed, what happened, really anything. Now, little side note to it, that was like the assignment of a new device. If you are discarding like old or broken device, I can simply move it to a retired asset folder. Again, it can be divided into different categories, and the goal is we keep all the decommissioned device in the system. For example, you can easily then export a table with assets that are to be disposed. Now let's go back to the handover of a mobile phone to John. And this needs to be end with a formal document, with a confirmation. I will print, generate a handover protocol. Now we have different options for the protocols, also different methods. I will choose by an electronic pen and generate. Now these forms are customizable. We can put like your own company logo, own text, whatever you need. If I sign this, it is then stored in ALVAO with the signature, and you can take a look, at it later. Now, the user can easily see the signed documents also in the application. So under the profile, there is my documents. I can see the generated documents here. And if we would have chosen the via web method to sign in, I can actually sign it straight from here. Now there is also a section for my assets. Here I can see the assets that the user have been given to use, but also other entrusted asset. So this is asset that the user is not like normally using, not have in their possession, but he is responsible for it. So typically some shared device. Now you can also do periodic asset checks with your users to confirm that the equipment that have been given them to use is still in their possession. Now you can do it yearly or more often, depends how you want it. The users will simply confirm that they still have the asset or that they don't. If not, they need to put a reason why, what happened, and the technician who will work with this has then the confirmation, to act. So there is one more place where user can see the assets that they have. And this is the home page for end user. I will show that right now. Again, same place, same application. So users logged here with their Entro ID accounts. And here are some sections, regarding the service desk. At the right side, there is section for asset management. So I will select the mobile phone. Now I can see some relevant properties that the end user is available to see. For example, in case of SIM card, you can put like a PIN code here. So whenever a user forgets it, they can go here and take a look. Now, because of our strong integration with Service Desk, you can easily, if you have some incident or problem with the device, you can raise a ticket from here. Now you can choose from relevant services. You don't need to go and explore the service catalog. So I will select report issue. Now on the right side we have knowledges. Now the system will automatically help you create knowledges for problems that happen a lot. It's also integrated with your SharePoint. You can have knowledges there as well. Now the mobile phone is automatically linked right here, and I can just say that the display is broken and raise the ticket. Now the technician who is going to work on this problem will see the connected device, and on one click they can go straight to the object in asset management and see all the necessary information. So to summarize it quickly, in the application, we can simply work with using a drag and drop or automated system moves. System automatically pulls all the information about the device, and you can easily fill in the other information that you need. All the history is logged, so that gives you an overview of the entire history of the asset and its life cycle. This is actually important if you are undergoing any audits like SOC 2, ISO 27001, and Cyber Essentials and more, because you need these things to pass these audits. From the end user's point of view, it's definitely a transparency. You know, every user can easily see what they have and what they are responsible for, and if they have some problem, directly create tickets for any problems. Now let's look at scenario where I am working with the assets and I need some overview. Typical scenario is, I want to see the list of computers that I have in the organization, or maybe what devices will reach the warranty expiration. So let's take a look. I will go back to the tree structure. Sorry, here. And let's select some department, for example, sales. Now, there is child objects tab, and here I can see all the objects that are under the department. Now we have already prepared some views that are customizable. You can create new ones if you want. Right now I can see the computers and the relevant properties that I want to see. Now, if I select a different department, the scope automatically changes. I can go to organization and see the overview of my entire organization pretty easily. Same goes, for example, if a colleague needs me to export phones, I can use this view for it, and I can just select analyze in a MS Excel spreadsheet, and it will take this table and put it to the Excel, so you can send it to your colleagues pretty easily. We can say download it right here. Now you can do regular exports. For example, if you want to have it directly sent to your emails, it will be done automatically for you. And furthermore, this is good, in terms of notifying you when the warranty is about to expire. You can proactively notify users of the warranty expiration, like month in advance. So if there is some problem, they will contact you and you still have time to fix that. You can do the same for licenses, like maintenance expires, you have time to terminate or extend the contract. Same with the contracts, you can manage them as well. So it's not only tangible, but also intangible assets. To summarize, I have an overview of all these assets at a few clicks, and I can get the information I need very easily. Now let's move to more advanced scenario, which is the configuration database. In addition to the record of what I'm actually taking care of, you can make logical links between objects and how they relate to each other. This is important in incident management, change management, and other processes, that keep your company running perfectly. And typical question might be, what happens if I reboot a server? So if I don't know where a particular object is, I can just search for it. It's really easy and select it. Now I will go to diagram of links. I have already prepared a tab for that right here. Now, here we can see the logical dependencies on the physical server. At a glance, I can see what is affected if I crash this server, or if I shut it down for maintenance. We have some virtual servers running on it, and on that are depending some business services that affects end users. Now there are also other information being projected here, and this is again because of our integration with Service Desk. There is a critical error submitted for the server. We can see it's not operational right now. I can open the detail and go to related tickets tab. Now we see that there is an incident that the server is down, and it's actually submitted by Zabbix. So again, it goes to the integration on monitoring tools. It can submit for you, any problems, any incidents, to have faster resolution of the problem. And with the incident, we can see that because the server is not running, the virtual servers running on it and the business services will be affected as well and won't be running again as well. Now, thanks to the thanks to the configuration database, I can see how these things are related, and I'm able to avoid even unnecessary mistakes like restarting the server or stopping, and stopping part of the company during the working hours. The connection with service desk and the health of the object helps us, with faster resolution of problems and incidents in our infrastructure. Now, one of the last scenarios that in today's demo that I want to touch is, software purity. And this goes again with tracking also of the intangible assets as well. So for example, ERP systems, Excels or other tools completely fail here. Those systems can't tell you, what software is installed on those computers and how it relates to licenses, licensing policies, upgrades, downgrades, and what to do with it. If tracking of tangible assets is challenging in these tools, tracking of intangible ones is total nightmare. So let's go back to Veronica's laptop. Now, let's take an example, that the device is imported, there is an agent installed on it. So not only it pulls detailed hardware, but also detailed software. Now, this is then run through our software library that we maintain on regular basis. It then tells you if the software is commercial, if it's freeware, if you need license for it. There are again views prepared for that. And with that, you can also do some basic actions, with the licenses, with the installations. I can change the scope. I can manage it on users. I can do like overview of entire organization or just department, what have you. Now, software asset management is a big section, big topic, and it would, deserve its own webinar. So I'm not gonna go into depth today. I'm just gonna say there is a whole agenda for it, and maybe it can be a next topic for our next discussion. So now, little summary for it. You know what you have installed and how it's compared to the licenses. The last topic I want to mention is reporting. Now, okay. As being Microsoft oriented, it's not a surprise that the reporting is done via Power BI. Now, we have ALVAO Power BI report that is published on Microsoft App Source. You can just connect it to your ALVAO instance and try it. Now, there is also a huge data set available for use, so you are free to create your own reports or modify existing ones. Here is an overall report for assets that shows you the key metrics, such as manufacturer or warranty expiration. With the warranty expiration, I've already told you some automations, that you can get automatically notified, and you can really use the charts here and filter on them, filter on only what you want to see. You can use it, to see the operating system on your devices. For example, see only computers that still have the Windows 10 and needs to be upgraded. And there are many different reports in the Power BI that you can use. Other examples are hardware and software discovery reports, CMDB analysis, contract management, and more. Now, the last thing that I want to touch, is M365 optimization report. Now, This helps you optimize your Microsoft license budget. The dashboard shows you the chart of percentage of optimized users, how much you spend annually, and how much of that is actually necessary, with potential life savings and percentage comparison. Now, for not optimized users, which is the red part of the first chart, you can see the number of issues, and these issues are broken down by specific metrics. Then in the bottom we have an overview. This provides detailed information on specific users, including the statuses. So that's it. If you have any questions, if you are interested in ALVAO IT asset management, or you would like to explore maybe our full ITSM solution with our service desk, shoot us a message, and we will be happy to help. And now is the time to answer some questions if they are in the chat. So there is a question, how about the Docker? Any chance it can be managed? Of course, you can track in terms of like tracking, objects or like devices, anything can be tracked. It's really unlimited. So if the device or if the object is not existing in ALVAO, you can create it and set the unique set of properties. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, we don't have anything else. We have 2 more minutes, so feel free to ask. Maybe I will just say, out of security reasons, in the SaaS, it runs in Azure, in UK or in US, what is your preference? So it will be protected by Microsoft. You don't need to worry about. And there is, of course, 99.9% SLA that it will be up and running. Okay. So no new questions. So once again, let me thank you for joining us for today's webinar, and we hope. Oh, there is one new question. So another question: how about other cloud resources such as GCP, AWS? So everything can be tracked. If the question is on this topic, you can track it in ALVAO. If it doesn't exist, you can track tangible, intangible asset, licenses, contracts, whatever you have. We are also certified for CMDB, if that's a thing for you. Any report template for ISO 27001? I don't actually know that from top of my head, but there are definitely already prepared templates that would help you with that. I can say that safely. Okay, so thank you. We've reached the 30 minutes of today's webinar. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to talk to you in the future. Have a good one.